Hi, welcome to Galactic Command Tarot. This is a psychic beacon. So if you're watching this and you're a member of Galactic Command, now you can choose to believe that or not. But as it is, you exist in one of two states or conditions, and that is either active or inactive. Now, active means everything I say or do or pull from the ancient Galactic Command Tarot deck will apply to you. Inactive means everything I say or do or pull from the ancient Galactic Command Tarot deck will not apply to you. To go from inactive to active, all you have to do is say, of my own free will, I volunteer for service with Galactic Command, and that is it. Now, if you're new, well, I'm here to help you. I'm actually talking to you from the fifth dimensional planet, planet Earth. There was a while back when the Earth shifted, and I expected to see hundreds, if not thousands, of light beings shift with me because I saw it happen. And I felt it happen. And I was surprised to find out that I was alone. You could say that's insanity. Well, maybe you're right. But I see things. I hear things. The world is completely different. But you're members of Galactic Command and you're here, and that is also part of the things I see and hear, and I'm here to help you. Now, this is the ancient Galactic Command Tarot deck manifested by Archangel Michael. It was manifested in the presence of the Almighty God, so it talks. Have I seen Archangel Michael? Yes. Do you see anybody beside me? It's possible. I don't know you directly, but there's an angel sitting here. There's an angel sitting here. There is a member of Galactic Command sitting there on the other side of the angel, and there is another member of Galactic Command sitting there on the other side of the angel. Who are they? Well, Katrina, Major, Logistics, Galactic Command. Archangel Wendy, third most powerful angel in the universe, best friend of Archangel Michael. Archangel Little Michelle, second most powerful angel in the universe. Her name literally means Little Michael. And on the other side of her is Major Laura of Galactic Command, and she's literally like a political advisor or just information. That's the best way to put it. You know, if you were to think of her as, just think of her as like the primary person you would go to in a company for information, like the CEO, you know, the chief person who helps you. So we have information, we have logistics, which is things that carry out, we have a powerful being filled with love, and then we have Archangel Wendy, which literally gets things done with the angels. Okay, so we have force, we have knowledge, we have planning, and we have strategy, and then there's me to help you. Okay, so as I said before, this is manifested in the presence of the Almighty God. I got this deck from Archangel Michael himself. It's the only one that exists, and if you're watching this, it doesn't matter when you watch this. This could apply today, tomorrow, or a million years from now, okay? So, as I said, it talks. As I pick up the cards, it doesn't matter what's on it. It will give the information to you. And it doesn't matter when. I've said this before. You could find this reading in a vault a billion years from now. Some archaeologist could pull it out and he might look at it and it might make no sense to him, whatever. He's like, what is this? And then it says, Of my own free will, I volunteer for service with Galactic Command, and guess what? Everything will apply to him at that moment. It will make absolute sense at that moment. Anyways, you're here, so let's get started. Okay, all we do is we shuffle the deck until we feel like we need to stop. I try to do everything in front of you so you know what's happening. There are no reversals on this deck. Okay, cut it with our left hand like this, and we stack them all back up together, and this is your reading. Here we go. 3 of Swords. Emotions. Thoughts. More thoughts than emotions, okay? Sticks through the heart, literally. These are past decisions. Now, this is what happened. You have made decisions in your past with friends, and they are literally moving away from you, not physically, but mentally. You don't know why, but it's just happening. It's just one of them things. It's like they're growing, I want to say distant, but at the same time, that's not the right word. We're trying to find the word that applies to you, which means it's kind of like in misinformation. Not information, but misinformation. The way you communicate with them, because of your vibrational frequency, it's not making sense to them. They're finding it hard to follow you, to understand you. So it's more of like a mental distance as opposed to a physical distance. They are trying to understand though, but it doesn't bother you so much as it bothers them because of your vibrational frequency. You're already prepared for this. You are already prepared. Your heart is different. It's been trained to adapt like this. So now it's not a bad card. It's just something for you to be aware of. Okay. So just be a little more understanding to the people around you and try to understand. They are probably going through some of the things that you went through before you reach this high vibrational frequency that you're on. So try to take a look at how they're feeling and just kind of work with them. That's the best thing that you can do, is just try to work with them. You can save these attachments. That's the only way I can put it. I wouldn't say that they're. It's a friendship, but it's a different kind of friendship now. So I would call it an attachment because it almost seems like you're like, at one point you're literally going to leave them behind, maybe not physically but mentally. So you'll have to adjust, but you'll also have to try to make sure that you are considerate to who they are. Okay? So that's why it's like that. It's thoughts. It's how you feel and how they feel about you and how you feel about them. It's not a conflict. It's just kind of like a misunderstanding of one vibrational frequency banging into another vibrational frequency, and yours being the lighter one. It's kind of like reflecting them off, like a little bit like a force field. It's bouncing. And so you gotta kind of like ease into their sphere of influence is the best way to put it. Okay. Four Pentacles. Because you're moving forward. This is your life. You know, it's part of this process here is advancing in vibrational frequency, raising it high. See? It's the light coming out around your heart space. This is just that feeling of moving forward. No one ever said it would be easy. You know what? That is a saying among angels. No one ever said it would be easy to be an angel. No one ever said an angel's life was easy. Think about that. Think about that. Think about what they have to do. There's the big one, the book of Revelations. Could you stand up against an army of demons, against Lucifer? How much courage would you have to do that? Now that's just an example. What if you had to do that on a daily basis? Now, these are examples. What if you had to come down to earth and the Almighty God said, you know, there's a hurricane a-blowing. I need you to take out that town. That's your job, angel. You know, there is a sun coming up. It's going to spread the flowers around, but I need you to kill that tree. And this dog, he's getting old. I need you to find someone to, you know, make sure that dog doesn't wake up. There's a disease. It's heading all across the world. I need you to take care of one person who prays for you and ignore the other 100. You know, these are things that the Almighty God could say. An angel has to listen to them. He has to listen. He listens to the prayers. He listens to the Almighty God. He does the things, and then he has his duties and responsibilities of the universe, of the earth, and of course to the Almighty God. So doesn't it make sense? Who said an angel's life is easy? No one ever said it. No one ever said it was hard. But think about what it would be like knowing all these things. And then there's you. Remember Galactic Command. Now you're moving forward, and as you can see, you're doing just fine by yourself. There's no angels in this picture. There's no members of Galactic Command. You are making those decisions yourself. You are stepping forward, looking for your twin flame. You know it may be difficult. You may drive away those that are around you, but at the same time, you also will drive away those that are not worthy to be in your presence. And you say, well, that sounds pretty harsh, but it's a reality. It's a reality. You don't do it on purpose. It's just they fall away from you. It just happens. It happens naturally. It's just one of them days you might have 100 friends, and as your vibrational frequency increases and you become more of a light being, you wake up and then you say, what happened to Bob? What happened to Karen? And the next thing you know, you have 80 friends. And months, years may pass, and then you look around, you might only have 50. It might be faster than that, might be slower than that. And then one day you'll look up and you'll say, there's only 5 people I have that I call my friends. You think about it and you look where you are and you're like, where did everybody go? I've been there. I have been there. You know what it was like when I first was here on the fifth dimensional planet when it happened? It was literally, physically, I can see people. I can walk around people. I can talk to people. Basically the world is the same. But it also changed. I talk to the Almighty God like I'm talking to a person in the room. I'm like, hi, how are you? I'm fine. I talk to Galactic Command. I talk to angels. I can sit here and I can say, where are the black-eyed children in this world? The really terrible ones. I can actually focus in on them and find them. I could sit here and tell you where Bigfoot is if I wanted to. I have said this many times, and it is absolutely honest, the truth. Think about God and the devil and angels and demons and vampires and werewolves and Bigfoot and spiders and ghosts. Think of all these things. Think of black-eyed children and shadow people and possessions and witches, like the Blair Witch and all that stuff. Think of giant spiders and dinosaurs in the oceans and sea monsters and aliens, and think of all this stuff. And then think that somehow it's all real. It is all absolutely real. And it makes sense. Somehow it makes sense. The werewolves, they're here, but it's part of the earth. It's the way the earth is. Same with vampires. They are here. They exist. They figure it out. Angels are absolutely real. They fight demons. They help people. Demons are negative energy, completely negative energy. Almighty God, absolutely real. Galactic Command, aliens, yes, they walk here. If you're watching this, you're one of them. You might be inactive or active. All this stuff is real. Ghosts, yes. Zombies, of course. Zombies are strange. You know what? Zombies aren't necessarily, they don't go around eating people's brains and stuff like that. Zombies are different. Zombies like their bodies. Their bodies that want to decay and become part of the earth, to grow. There's a song that says, push the little daisies and make them come up. That's what they want to do. They want their bodies to decay and become part of the soil, become of the earth, nurture the grass, nurture the trees, have the worms go through them and become part of the earth. Now what happens is, over time, people put them in caskets, they put them in boxes, they do things where they can't decay, and those bodies become upset. And over time, eventually they get so angry they just come out of the ground and they attack people. Now, one of the things Archangel Michael does is he heals the earth. And when he does that, they are, for a better word, they are content. They are not angry. They stay in the ground, which is good. Because as long as Archangel Michael's around performing his duties, they will stay in the ground. The proper way to bury a dead body is the way they did it in the Bible. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Burn it. Burn the body, or bury it in the ground. Or bury it in something that can, like a wooden box. It will eventually decay and become part of the earth. Don't put it in like a stainless steel casket or something that you can say, this body will last for 1,000 years. You know, rock is okay because it's still a rock. It's still part of the earth. Plastic isn't. It's a man-made substance. You know, so these are the reasons that zombies occur. And then, have they occurred? Oh, yes. They've risen before. Maybe not yesterday. Maybe they won't raise tomorrow. Chances are they won't. As long as Archangel Michael's here. But if he's called away or if he has to do something and he's not here to heal the earth and the angels don't do it for whatever reason, then there is a chance that zombies can rise. Strange, isn't it? All that from one card, your path. You were told to hear that. The Wheel of Fortune. It was your destiny to hear what I just told you. Because it's absolutely real. Four corners of the universe, angels. Literally, the Almighty God. The omnipotent being. The Creator, however you want to call him. Just call him God. He doesn't mind. You know what the religions of the world are for? You know, I'm not here to discredit any religion, but you know what they are for? It is so you can talk to God. Now you're saying, well, I talk to God all the time. You know, I'm not saying praying. I'm literally saying he wants you to go, hi, how are you? Just doing that. Not putting your hands together and praying like this, but just going, God? And he'll say, yes. Can I talk to you? And he'll say, you are. And just talk to him. That's what religion is for, to talk to him. He wants you to have a reason to talk to him, and he will listen. He wants that conversation. See? Wheel of Fortune. He's telling you right now that if you're curious, just talk to him. If you imagine you hear him, you are hearing him. If you imagine you're talking to him, you are talking to him. The Romans used to call him the unknown God. The Greeks used to call him the unknown God. That's what he was known as. When Zeus and Apollo and Mars and Mercury and Ares and Venus and Hera, all those gods, all them Greek and Roman gods, Jupiter, when they couldn't solve the problems of the Romans or the Greeks, or they couldn't explain something, when it was beyond anything they could comprehend, they would say, well, it must be the will of the unknown God. That's what they would call him, the unknown God. Crazy, isn't it? And you're supposed to hear this. You're supposed to know that all of this is real. All of this is true. It's part of your journey. It's destined. It has happened before and it will happen again. As the angel said, say, I have, I am, and I will do this. Just like you. I am here, I am now, I have always been, and I always will be. Oh, because you're trained to. You know this. You know this. Someone taught you this in Galactic Command. That is a teacher giving out secrets to you. teaching you about the Almighty God, teaching you about the angels, teaching you about Galactic Command, about yourself, who you are. This is the Yam, the Egyptian symbol for life, but it also means angels. If you haven't noticed, it is a halo with two arms stretched out and the body. That's literally what it means. It's the hidden symbol in the Egyptian belief. It means angel. Now, like a lot of religion in this world, they may have the different views of who God is or how they understand God or what his belief or whatever. But the one consistent thing among all the religions is that they do believe in angels. And angels are part of your life. Right there, four corners. Angels. Four corners. You know this is true. You were taught this. You were taught this. Absolutely. You were given all this information, and you were given the information about the Twinflame Journey. You volunteered to come here. You volunteered to come here. What happened was you volunteered. You were trained. You knew who your twin flame was. You both came here. Now, before that happened, you were informed what to expect. Two guardians were assigned to you, probably family members, people you love and trust, to walk with you when you were born. You would lose all your memories, all your experiences, but they would whisper to you and talk to you. You were trained in weapons. You have internal weapons inside you. You were trained how to act, what to do, where to go, how to believe, how to imagine. And then when you got here, you had to figure it out. You had to be born. You had to get your downloads. All this needed to be accomplished. But before all of that happened, you had to volunteer, be trained, and then one more thing you had to do. You're standing there. All these members of Galactic Command who volunteered on the Twinflame Journey. And they ask you again. And you have to step forward. You have to step forward. You volunteered for the training. You volunteered to do on the Twinflame Journey. And it's your next chance. Do you want to do this? And you took that step forward saying, yes, I want to do this. And that's why you're here. You volunteered twice. One to show you were willing to do it, and one to actually do it. That's why you're here. You agreed twice of your own free will to do this, to look for that love in your life. These are major cards. This is what you are and who you are. You did this and you volunteered to do this. You took responsibility for your own actions. That's why when we start this readings, I always ask you to say, do it of your own free will. You are taking responsibility for your own life, for where's going on, where you're going, what's going to happen. You've done it before. You have to be accountable. You have to be able to say, I am going to do this. There is no if. There is do or do not. And that's just exactly the way it is. You're moving forward. You're raising your vibrational frequency. Can you make it to the end of your life without becoming a member of Galactic Command? Yes, you can. You can stay exactly where you are, but you will be befuddled. You'll keep saying, I know I'm supposed to be doing something. I know I'm supposed to be going somewhere. What is it? What is it I need to do? It's that training inside you. That's what it is. Until you take accountability for your own life, you will always have that yearning of, what if? What if? What did I not do? It's right here. Now, once you take accountability for it, then you move forward. This is telling you what's going on in the next stage of your life. Does it repeat? Of course. There's always stages. You go through stage 1, you got to learn how to do this, and then you stop. And then you got to learn how to do it again, but at a different level, and you stop. And then you go again to a different level, and you stop. And you learn a different aspect of what you're doing, and you stop. And your vibrational frequency raises. Your light gets a little bit brighter. Your heart gets a little more open. People see you differently. Your light shines brighter, shines with love. You learn. You look back and you say, I just can't believe what happened. Was I that person all that years ago, all that time ago? You will find your true love. And when you do, these cards will still apply. It will help you move forward in your life. You will learn together. Nine of Wands. Because you plan for it. Your actions, you plan for it. See this? It's a ship. It crashed. It's burning in the distance. You walked out. You sat down. You have your survival gear. Because you planned for it. Even in that, when a ship crashed and you were the sole survivor, you walked out there calmly, took your action by yourself, and you had a plan. That was your plan. Calmly sitting there. You know what to do. You know what to do. Deep down, the Wheel of Fortune. You made the plan for this moment. If you have to wait, you have to wait. See? You have to wait, but don't worry. Things will work out. Things will work out for you. What about them? Maybe they escaped. Maybe they're there. Maybe it was their time. But it wasn't yours. That's all you need to be sure of. You prepared. When soldiers go to war, they prepare to land. So we'll use the invasion of Europe. say 1,000 men were going to hit the beach. Their plan was to run up the beach and survive and then invade Europe. So they landed. A bunch of them didn't make it, but a lot of them did. Little step. Next, when they get to the end of the beach, they got to climb up the hills. They got to go through the forest. They made it across the beach. Now they're at the forest. They have to get together in the forest. Those who made it through the beach might not make it through the forest. Those who make it through the other forest might not make it through the city. When you get to the other end of the city, out of 1,000, there might only be 100 of you left. But you're prepared. You're that one person that came from that boat. You prepared. And there you are. Not everyone's going to make it. That's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. I don't sugarcoat things for you, you know. But be prepared. You've already thought about this. Bottom of the deck. The Twinflame Journey. Have faith. Have faith. Faith is the belief in things hoped for. That are invisible. They can't be proven. That's you. That's you coming here. The beginning. You volunteered to do this. Are you going to give up now? No. See it through to the end. See it through to the end. Trust in who you are. Trust in who you are. Look at that. Can you imagine what it took for you to get on that thing? Come from that space. Come from up there. Knowing you're not going to remember a single thing. Knowing that the only hope for you is that you hear someone like me telling you that this is a psychic beacon and that you are here because you're a member of Galactic Command. And I'm telling you this. And you did this. You did this. Have the faith. There are things that are happening around you you don't know about. Think about something that you want and then have faith. You can pray to Almighty God, or you can talk. I had this conversation with him once, and I said, "Do I pray to you?" And he said, "Whenever you talk to me, you are praying to me. Whenever you tell me a joke, you are praying to me. When you are asking me a question, you are praying to me. Every time you look at me and we begin a conversation, you are praying to me. Sometimes I say yes to what you ask. Sometimes I say no to what you ask. Sometimes I ask you a question to see if you can figure it out. Sometimes I tell you the answer. Sometimes you ask me for the answer and I say, give me a few minutes. And other times I say, you know what? It's not just yet, right now. Have a conversation. Don't be afraid. That is one of the things he cherishes above all, is that conversation. I talk to him every day. Every single day. Sometimes I'll be watching TV and I'll be talking to him and I'll be saying, you know, I got to go get some coffee. You know, I'm going to make myself a bologna sandwich. You know, you can offer him a bologna sandwich and he will take it. You can offer him a cup of coffee and he will take it. You think, well, how can you give the Almighty God a bologna sandwich and a coffee? You hold out your bologna sandwich and you say, Almighty God, here, take this bologna sandwich. And he will manifest one into his hand that looks just like yours. You can take yours like this and he will have one. Take a cup of coffee. Say, here, Almighty God, I'm offering a cup of coffee. He will manifest the cup of coffee in his hand. You may not see it. You may not see him take a cup of coffee. You might not see him take the bologna sandwich. But you can do that. And then when you sit down and you drink that cup of coffee, he is drinking that cup of coffee. When you take a bite of that bologna sandwich, he is taking a bite of that bologna sandwich. You know, you think about it, you sit there with him, and when you bite, he bites. When you drink, he drinks. When you swallow, he swallows. You're having time with him, and he is enjoying it. You're probably saying, it can't be that easy. It can be that easy. It is that easy. The Almighty God wants to have you talk to him. He wants that friendship. He will sit there and he will eat a bologna sandwich with you. If you have a bowl of Cheerios, he will eat a bowl of Cheerios with you. He will go into McDonald's and eat the exact same food you do. Angels are the same way. Angels are the same way. You can walk into McDonald's and order a Big Mac, large fries, and a Coke and sit down and say, if there's any angels here to want some food, here, I will hand you out some food. And you hold out your tray and say, this is for you, this is for you, this is for you. And then sit down and eat. And you will have given 3 trays of food to 3 angels, and they will eat the same way you do. You take a drink of your drink, they will take a drink of their drink. You take a bite of your burger, they will take a bite of your burger. They will enjoy it just like you because you're offering it to them. It's that easy. It's that easy. Remember, move forward, believe. That's what this is all about. Believe. Believe. Have that faith right there. You did this. The Almighty God is telling you, look. Anyways, that is your reading. That's the overall card from the bottom of the deck. And that is you. Your confirmation again, you came here. You came here from up above. And you came to the earth. And you are on the Twinflame Journey. So, that is your reading. It applies today, tomorrow, or 1,000,000 years from now. And so as the angels say, good luck, and I will talk to you later.